Hey, what's going on, guys? So I just wanted to give you a few tips, a few little tricks that I use if I'm trying to lose some body fat. Because at the end of the day, obviously, most importantly, before anything else, it's calories in, calories out. You've got to create a deficit. You've got to consume less than you um, take in, burn more than you take in. So, I'll add a little cardio, not so much that I'm just starving. But that's one thing I do, especially in the morning on an empty stomach. Um, and then, I like to. You're eating some pretty bland food, so let's be honest here. If you're really trying to lose a good amount of fat, you're gonna be hungry. I'll often kind of drop my calories personally to about 2,500 or so, whereas for me to just maintain where I'm at, not gain, not lose, it's probably in the low threes. I might bulk up to four sometimes. But it's I don't really care what anyone's gonna tell you. It's not comfortable. You're gonna be hungry, so it's about mitigating that and just uh, tolerating it as much as possible. So you have to know yourself and your habits. Like for me, I get hungry at night, and that's kind of when I just want something like sweet or something like carbs. And of course, that's not a great idea. So I have found at a local grocery store these little yogurts that are delicious, and they have a lot of protein and like zero fat and really minimal sugar, like a gram or something like that. So that can kind of like satisfy the craving, and it's 60, 70, 80 calories depending on the flavor. If you have one of those, you're getting some protein. And while I might not recommend that if you're just trying to be absolutely shredded like on stage, it can really help because again, it's mostly about the deficit. So if that satisfies the craving and I'm only taking in 60 calories instead of you know a few hundred, then that's a win. And then the other thing I do a lot of is just because you're eating some bland foods, you're really eating a lot of boring stuff. And I really don't even mind that much, but especially if you're just kind of starting in on this, then it's gonna be quite a contrast from what you're used to, and it's gonna get old. And so I'm like the condiment guy. I just kind of have a little rotation of them, and less is more with them. But some things you can use, like buffalo sauce, is good. It's got a lot of salt, but there's low calorie. It's not bad for you. There's not sugar. You could do some A1. Most of these sauces have sodium, so if it's like peak week for you or something, I don't recommend it. But otherwise, it can add a little flavor and not do too much damage. Usually, any kind of mustard is a solid option. I use sriracha a lot. I use a lot of like fresh salsa, pico de gallo. Guacamole is good too. You just look for something with whole avocados as the like one and only ingredient, and that's low calorie. Add a few scoops and it's like 50 calories, like 4 grams of fat or something like that. So those kind of things, to just make the daily totals. That's what it's all about. You can get some like sugar-free maple syrup to add to some, protein pancakes or some oatmeal or something like that to just give it a little flavor. So yeah, those are tips. Eating a lot of veggies. You could eat a lot of broccoli and kind of get full. Obviously, drinking a lot of water. Not only is that just great for you, but it keeps you fuller too. These things don't work for me that well. It's not like I can just fill up on broccoli and I'm like, oh yeah, this is this is just as good as a piece of cake. Or drinking water. It's not like that just totally satiates you. Um, but those condiment selections are good choices. They make it a little less bland, a little bit more tolerable, and yeah, the fasted morning cardio helps you just create a little bit more of a deficit, burn another 100 or 200 calories or something. And yeah, just those little healthy options. Like, if you're not about an extreme fitness lifestyle, if you're just trying to get in shape and you're somebody who previously drank a lot or something, or that's a part of your lifestyle, you could have like a low calorie beer or something like that. And if you chugged a few of those, it's, what are they? Like 60 calories, a carb or two each. So you'd get a little buzz, and it's not like completely detrimental. Or take a shot of plain booze or whatever. Those little things, if it's going to keep you on track versus just falling off the wagon, then it's good. The more that you can reduce any of this stuff, the better, and the better your results will be. But again, it's not extremely detrimental to have a little sugar-free maple syrup or some mustard on your chicken or something like that, and makes it a lot better tasting. But it keeps you on track, and it keeps those daily totals where they need to be. It's all about calories, number one, and then your macronutrients, number two. And if you're hitting those things consistently, you're just going to get results. It's just a matter of fact. So anyway, feel free to hit me up with any questions and let me know if any other things have worked for you. Happy to hear it.